This is rare. And my understanding, this is the first interview that the former president of the United States will be making since this Stormy Daniels stuff went out. So I don't want to make this guy wait anymore on the line. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you, with honor, the President of the United States, joining us right now, Donald J. Trump, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Donald J. Trump joining us right now on the line. Mr. President, it is such an honor to have you back on the show. It's been a little while, Mr. President. How are you?
I know. This is quite an honor for you and your station.
Oh, it is, Mr. President.
How many people are listening right now? 2 million, 3 million?
At least, yeah, probably more.
Fantastic. Well, today we're going to double that. It's going to be like 8-10 million people. Believe me. When this gets out, people are going to be listening from all over because they love me. They absolutely love me, and I have so much on my mind. And you mentioned horse face, so I didn't know we were talking about that, but that's okay. That's okay because it's all just going to blow over. But if it doesn't, I'm excited because honestly, this is going to be big for me. I'm going to be back in the news 24 hours a day, because I'm the first president ever that is going to be indicted, right? And then two impeachments. So I don't think anyone's going to really catch up with these numbers.
Mr. President,
you know what I mean? Years from now.
Mr. President, some people would say that's not a good thing if you're indicted. You're making it out. You're making it out that this is a good thing that you're going to be indicted, Mr. President. Why would you say that?
It is a good thing. It's just a huge thing. I mean, I'm going to do what they call it, the perp walk, and I'm trying to think: should I kind of move fast? Should I move slow? Because there's going to be a lot of people taking photos. So I'm probably going to just kind of, how I move slowly sometimes.
Yes.
Or I could do Macho Man. I could do Macho Man as I walk into the federal courthouse. Macho.
You're playing this all out, Mr. President.
Oh, everything, every inch, can you imagine what my fingerprints are going to go for on eBay? We're going to sell them on, my website too, but we're going to really do a tremendous job.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going to sell my finger. We're going to sell everything. And it's going to be fantastic. And then if I go to prison, I am going to be the toughest hombre in the prison yard. I'm going to kick everybody's ass. It's going to be amazing.
Mr. President, though, I mean, I don't know if this is, by the way, when you mentioned horseface, of course, you're talking about Stormy Daniels. Can you just answer this?
Horseface Daniels.
Yeah. Can you answer this question honestly? Did you have unprotected sex with Stormy Daniels, Mr. President? Please be honest.
Well, if you want to be honest, and I know that you've had some porn stars on your show, Allura Jensen, is that her name? Allura?
Yes, that's correct.
Allura. And by the way, if it had been Allura, this never would have happened. She would have kept her mouth shut. You know what I mean? But what's her face? She can't shut up. But we did have a tremendous night. I thought it was fantastic. I went a really long time that night. I went over 30 seconds, which is pretty long.
30 whole seconds, Mr. President.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? I'm a busy guy. I can't tie up 2 hours. You know what I mean? These guys who go a really long time.
I feel you. Would you do it again, Mr. President?
Absolutely. I deserve that. Men like me, we deserve, you meet a woman.
Okay.
You have a connection. And you can agree with me on this. You meet a woman, right? Doesn't matter. You guys are in Las Vegas. You meet a woman. You're at a club. You're at wherever you are. You meet a woman. You have a connection. You're thinking, I really want to get with this woman. You know what I mean? And listen, I think, marriage is a wonderful thing, but you don't have to be fanatical about it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So you don't have to be fanatical, Mr. President, but I mean, do you care about your marriage, Mr. President?
Absolutely. And if I see Melania again, I'm going to tell her how much I care. Again. Right now, we're in the middle of a 3-month marathon. She loves hide and go seek. I didn't know this about her, but she's really good at it. Ever since we moved into the White House, I couldn't find her for weeks. And then back at Mar-a-Lago, she knows all the secret passageways.
Oh, she does. I bet she does, Mr.
She does. She's good.
Why don't you guys sleep in the same bed, Mr. President? Because I've heard rumors that you guys haven't had physical relations with Melania in quite some time. Is there any truth to that, Mr. President?
Well, you know what? There is truth to that. And I want to let you know why. There's a serious reason. She's very, very smart, highly highly intelligent. She speaks 5 languages.
Okay.
Unfortunately, English is not one of them, but she speaks 5 languages.
Okay.
And even before COVID, she was socially distancing. She was socially distancing, and she knew, because when Dr. Fauci, the little dwarf that I hired, when he told me about social distancing, I said, I know that because Melania has been already doing it for 2 years. So Melania is just a very, what do you call that? What do you call it when somebody a hypochondriac? Hypochondriac.
Okay.
Mr. President, this is serious, though. Let's get back to the indictment because this is like the breaking news, Mr. President. My understanding is, you put out something on Truth Social that says you said you were going to be indicted on Tuesday, and now
Tuesday.
Yeah. So why didn't it happen, Mr. President? It's Friday now. Are you lying, Mr. President?
Excuse me. Okay, I wasn't lying. I just pulled a date, and there's only 5 days. I had a 1 in 5 chance of getting indicted on that day. How was I supposed to know the grand jury doesn't sit on Tuesday?
That's true. That's not your fault, Mr. President. So what?
That's not my fault. That's not my fault.
No, you're right. You're right. Has anything ever been your fault, Mr. President?
Absolutely nothing. That is why I've never seek forgiveness from our wonderful Lord Jesus Christ. And what's my favorite book, Brian? What's my favorite book?
The Art of the Deal.
That's right. And what's my second favorite book?
You tell me, Mr. President.
The Bible. The Bible. And you know why it's my second favorite book?
Why is that?
Because I'm not in it yet. I'm not in it yet. But I was told by my evangelicals. They told me I'm going to be in the new edition coming up very soon.
Okay.
Very soon.
Will your name be on it, Mr.
Because
President?
I'm a martyr. I'm a martyr.
Martyr. What do you make of Ron DeSantis? Because, a lot of people are saying he's your competitor. You've had different names for Ron DeSantis.
Excuse me. My competitor? When you say someone's a competitor, that means they're equal. They're equal. He's not my equal. Meatball Ron is not my equal. Rhonda DeSantis is not my equal. Okay. By the way, are we on regular radio? Can I give my newest name?
Please.
Rhonda Fatass. Rhonda Fatass. We're workshopping that at my rally this weekend.
Mr. President, you're not exactly on the front of Fitness Magazine either, though. I mean, let's be fair.
Are you kidding me? Have you seen some of the posters that my wonderful MAGA people have put? I mean, I'm ripped. I'm absolutely ripped. I look like Rambo. I look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, who I don't like anymore. But I look incredible. I look incredible.
Who are you going to?
And I play golf almost every single day.
Who did your surgery, Mr. President?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Who did your surgery, Mr. President? You just look so different.
Oh, I know. It's incredible. I think they call it Ozempic. Ozempic, is that the right name?
So, Mr. President, you're obviously running
wonderful little mint flavor.
So, Mr. President, if you're just joining us, by the way, he's Mr. President himself, Donald J. Trump. It's an honor having you, Mr. President. Who are a lot
and
of
know, Brian, I just want to say something.
Yes, sir.
I love that you said Donald J. Trump because you're Jewish, and I love the Jewish people, fantastic people, great people, hardworking people, so good with money, and I love the Jewish people so much. I moved the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, and the Jewish people love me so much they think my middle name, Donald J. Trump, is Donald Jewish Trump. It's not, Brian. It's not. Please tell the people of the tribe.
Some people
it's not Jewish.
Some people might consider that a little anti-Semitic, Mr. President.
Not at all, because my middle name is actually Donald Genius Trump. That's what the J stands for.
I see, and you do have Jared Kushner, who's also a Jew as well. So that's very
Jew.
fair.
He's a Jew.
He is.
He's a Jew, and my daughter Ivanka, who I can't date because of these stupid rules. She's Jewish now.
That's true, Mr. President. I have to ask you this: there's a lot of speculation about who your vice president may or may not be. I've heard Carrie Lake's name out there. We've heard, maybe even else. Yeah, she is. I mean, you tell me, Mr. President. I mean, who do you think? You don't have to tell us who you're going to pick, but who are some names out there that you think you would consider?
Well, I think a great pick would be Carrie Lake. She's kind of like that sexy, boyish, tomboyish. She's feisty. She stayed with me for 2 weeks at Mar-a-Lago, which, by the way, is the greatest private club in the country. She stayed with me for 2 weeks. Even with the boy haircut, she's very, very sexy. And I think we need a really good-looking president and vice president. I think the both of us would be fantastic. I would like also as a backup, Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley. I don't know her Indian name. You know what I mean? Patel or something like that. Whatever that is. But she's great too. She's very smart. She's very smart.
Whatever happened to Mike Pence, Mr. President? You guys don't get along anymore?
Well, I never got along with the guy. What a wimp. What a wimp. You know what I called him in the office? You heard the transcripts, right? I called him the P word.
Yes, you did. I remember that. Yeah.
I did. You know what? What a wuss. What a wuss that calls his wife mother. What a turnoff. What a complete boner killer that is. That's like kryptonite.
But Mr. President, do you feel responsible for getting Michael Cohen put in jail?
Am I responsible?
Yeah. Do you
Am
not
I
feel
responsible? How? Excuse me. He's a grown man who's an attorney. You know what I mean? He does what he wants to do. He says, you know, Mr. Trump, whoever he talks. Hey, Mr. Trump, I'm going to pay off this thing for that thing that you did. I'm like, okay, do whatever you do, Michael. You're a smart guy. You have autonomy. Autonomy. You know what autonomy is?
Can you explain, Mr.
You know
President?
what autonomy is?
Can you explain that to us, Mr. President?
Well, I don't know what it is. I'm asking you guys. But I told him you have autonomy, and he did that thing. So that's his fault.
Mr. President.
And listen, and I just want to make something clear.
Yes.
Maybe there was some impropriety, but he already went to jail. Why send two people to jail when you can only send one? I think it's a savings. The prison system is really burdened. You know, my prison reform bill allows for any chief executive who happens to possibly get framed a 3-bedroom suite in the nicest federal prison in the country.
That sounds lovely. Mr. President, a few more quick questions for you. Why won't you admit that you lost the 2020 election? Why do you still lie and say you won the election?
Well, because if I say I lost, then all the money stops coming in. But if I say I won, the money keeps coming in.
True.
It's very simple math. Very simple math.
That's true. That's true. So,
it also keeps me in the news because you know we have a very fickle the press, terrible people. The press, terrible people. If you say you lost, they move on and they call you a loser. But if I say I'm a winner, they say, "Oh, he says he's a winner," which is really great because that keeps you in the news.
Well, Mr. President,
and it keeps my people.
Mr. President, whoa, we're a part of the press. This is the news. This is radio.
Yeah.
You're not the news. You're on the radio. Come on.
Oh,
on the radio.
It's not the same to you?
They're barely hanging on by their fingernails.
Oh, the shade, Mr. President.
Who are some of your favorite? Now, you don't even do interviews with Fox News anymore, do you, Mr. President?
Not anymore. Not anymore. They sold me out. Rupert, what a wingnut. I could call him some other names. I just don't want to get you guys in trouble.
No.
Him and that phony Australian accent he puts on. He's just an old guy from Bayonne.
Yeah. Is there anything else?
He's so rich.
Is there anything else, Mr. President? Because boy, it's an honor to speak with you. Is there anything else that you haven't shared with us? Maybe you can break some news with us. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us before we move on? Anything else?
Oh, well, let me think. We've got so many things brewing right now. You know, I've got the thing in Georgia with the attorney general there who hates me. It's very racist, by the way. It's very racist. You notice all the people trying to indict me. You know what? They hate me. They absolutely hate me. It's just another example of the black man keeping the white man down. It's sad. It's really sad.
Mr. President, I'm a black man. You're talking to a black man on the radio show.
You really believe that, Mr. President, that black men are bringing white men down? You really believe that?
Absolutely. Look what they're doing to me. We got Alvin Bragg, number one. Who names their kid Alvin? He sounds like a chipmunk. You know what I mean? And how self-centered do you have to have your last name is Bragg? So sad.
That's true.
So sad.
That's a good point.
But Mr. President, you have the Blacks for Trump. What do you think about that group?
Exactly. I love those. What do I do when I'm at my rallies? I point at the one guy. There's my black friend. There's my black friend. I do it every rally. I make sure we fly him around. You know, well, we get him around by bus, but he gets there and he's at all the rallies.
Anything else, Mr. President, or is that pretty much all you got?
No, that's pretty much it. My tea time's coming up, so I got to get out there.
Well, I have to tell everybody, because there are people on my social media and people that watch the show live. when they listen to Joe DiDomenico, who is
John.
Did I say Joe? Jeez, I get his wrong. I get the famous comics
That's
name
my
wrong.
uncle.
Yeah, John, who's done my show before, is a brilliant comic. He is one of the best impersonators out there. He lives here in Las Vegas, and John, you are brilliant with what you do. I got into radio.
Hilarious.
I got into radio because of Howard Stern. You make all these appearances on the Stern Show, and rightfully so. You're the best in the business, not just as a Trump impersonator, but as a comic. You do both so well. And John, it's just an honor to have you on.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
pleasure,
that.
John.
I
Thank you
appreciate
so much.
that.
What is that like?
Yeah,
for
and
you?
listen, for everybody who's listening in Las Vegas, I'm going to be joining Carrot Top on stage during his show tomorrow night. Trump will crash the Carrot Top show, so get your tickets.
And that's at the Luxor, right? Is that the Luxor?
That is at the Luxor.
Yes, I love it.
It'll be a lot of fun.
I love
it. And if anybody who's listening wants to follow me, I'm all over social media. So find me, follow me, send me money. All the usual.
Well, you and Trump have that in common. I like that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
John, no, in all seriousness, John, I know how busy you are, and it's an honor to have you on the show, man. I'm a big fan of yours and what you do, and you're just awesome. And so glad you live here in Las Vegas, and we know a lot of the same people, and you are just the best, my friend. I just want to say thank you for coming on again, and we'll talk to you soon down the road, whether it be you or Donald Trump or even a guy named Joe. I don't know who that is, but anyway, John,
Thanks, guys.
you're the best.
Have a great weekend.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you too, my friend. Take care. God, is that guy great? That guy is the best. Oh my gosh. I don't know who Joe is, but John DiDomenico is not only the best Donald Trump impersonator